In at number 56, it's fine.
Once more into the breach, my friends. Is it the breach? Do you go into the breach when you say those things? I don't remember. I
I
think
think
I
that's
got
a
the
thing
quote
people
wrong.
say,
Yeah,
If
I
you're
just
playing
said
a
it.
really good video game, you're going into the breach. This is
Especially if the
not.
game is called Breach. I mean, this could
there's a
this
game
is
called
It's
Into
called
the
Into the
Breach, Matt, is
Breach.
what he was
You go
referencing.
into the, yeah,
yeah.
the
Hey,
game is about going into the breach.
if Breach 2020, I feel like I have to add the year every time I say it because it's kind of a generic word. If Breach 2020 was a
Is
video game,
Anti-Life a better title?
the
Yes.
original, yeah, that would have been a better title.
That,
What
well,
if this?
that is an alternate title. That's what
Yeah.
it's listed as on Japanese Amazon.
Oh, okay. What if this were actually just a video game called Anti-Life? That would work, right?
I mean, it's
Because then
basically
No,
already Dead Space
because all the oh yeah, because all the
and
aliens crap, then you just be
The
like, whatever's the
Expanse.
game. Okay, yeah, those are things I haven't. The Expanse. See, there's a show that I should have watched, didn't watch. On my end.
I'm
Um,
reading it.
I w-
I read. I don't watch shows, but I read books.
maybe I should read the book sometime.
I
Anyway,
wouldn't
what?
read this book.
No, no, no. We aren't telling you to read this book. We're telling you to read a different book. Read The Expanse. Do it
You're
now.
telling me, wait,
Just
you're
to
telling me
clarify,
not
we're
to
also
read
not
the,
telling you to watch this film, listeners.
you're telling me
uh,
to read the novelization of Breach from 2020?
sure. Anyway, what are we doing here? It's Films and Filth. It's Breach today. This is Matt here. Hi there, people.
Hi, it's Mark.
That's Mark.
It's your boy
So,
Luke.
yo,
I
yo,
decided
yo,
I
what's
decided
up?
not to trail that one because you expected it. You expected it of me, so I didn't do it. Somebody expected it.
Everyone.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, right, Mark, before you came on, I was just having a look at Bruce Willis's discography too, which is two albums. That's the one that's on his actual wiki page. You have to look for the link to find his actual filmography, which was annoying. Uh, but yeah, his last real movies were the year before this, in which he made uh did a
Glass, which
cameo,
I saw in the
did
theater.
Glass, something called Motherless Brooklyn, an Edward Norton joint that's really long apparently, and he had a cameo in the Lego Movie too. So that was like proper Bruce Willis as a movie star this year, and then at the end of that year he goes direct to video. 2020 is three movies. I guess that makes sense. It's 2020. Survive the Night, Hard Kill, Breach. 2021 is 367 movies. 2022 is 12 movies, which is kind of insane. So I guess I was worried that we were stepping into a 2022 Bruce Willis movie, which I haven't seen those yet. So when I put this one on, he shows up. I thought he was going to show up for two scenes and like kind of be like not there, but there was enough Willis that I didn't like have a horrible time watching this, I guess.
If you look at like what the trajectory is with the scores of his movies, like we're doing Cosmic Sin, which is the one after that, directly after this, directed by one of the people who wrote this, and then the two people who wrote this wrote a bunch more movies he did, and the one guy, one of the writers, seems to have directed almost all of them. So, the guy who directed this, John Suits, which definitely sounds like a real person,
Can't click on his
uh,
name in Wiki.
he directed a Die Hard commercial for like the batteries Die Hard, but with Bruce Willis in it that everybody seems to have loved. And then it was like, I guess he just immediately got this made, and it seems I'm not entirely sure of the timeline because it's too depressing for me to look up, but it looks like probably the guys who wrote this just sort of took him and ran with him
Mm,
and made a bunch of garbage dreck,
right.
which probably is but that stuff's rated higher than this. I'm assuming because people who just will watch movies because Bruce Willis is in them just stopped after Cosmic Sin.
Well, yeah, also this is only like a few movies into the direct-to-video onslaught. On the
Mm-hmm.
list, it's like number
But
five out of what,
Well,
like
and also, I guess
30.
coming out in 2020, there was no distinction between like straight to streaming and cinema, right?
yeah, that's the thing.
So
They
this one
hit
probably
just at the
snuck
right
into a lot of
time.
people's viewing who wouldn't have otherwise watched it in any other year.
Even you saying direct to video now, like it's like I forgot that that meant anything
Oh, well,
because
me
that
and Matt
doesn't
used to
mean anything
discuss this
anymore.
back in the Sci-Fi Sanctuary days because that never did mean anything in the UK.
Oh,
Like, I feel
really?
like film just meant film, and it could be direct to video or in the cinema. We did. I don't think the distinction was as strong as it is in America.
How about TV,
Huh.
TV movie?
Well, Is that because BBC like makes TV shows that are good? I mean, it
Probably,
mostly
yeah.
generally has. I don't know if it's like always been like
Well, I
that,
think
but
it's
I feel
also just
like
maybe that maybe a lot of people have less access to cinemas, so people probably do watch films. Or maybe it's just my generation, whatever. But I never felt like I knew that there were films that came out in cinemas and films that didn't, but it never felt like the big distinction that Matt would make. Matt would be like, "Oh, this isn't really a film. It's a straight to video film." And I'm like, "Well, does that make it not a film? I didn't know that."
But yeah, that line's kind of blurred for everyone in 2020. I could see, like, I think in 2020, you still expect, even though Bruce Willis's star has greatly waned in 2020, you're still kind of expecting a certain production
Mm.
standard, right? And this one is shot in Fitzgerald, Georgia, which is way down south in Georgia, at TMG Studios sound stages, which I'm like, oh, it's a soundstage? I thought it was a warehouse that they barely dressed up, which I guess
it's
technically
the
that's kind
same
of what it
thing.
sounds. Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
technically what the same thing, but
It is
I'm like,
100%. I've been on sound stages. You take the stage out and it's a warehouse. If you like look around without looking at the stage part, you're in a warehouse. It
well,
is a warehouse.
I guess I'm thinking not soundstage, big room warehouse. I'm thinking because this has
Yeah.
corridors and stuff, right? So I guess they did
Yeah.
build the corridors, but they certainly didn't like put much production design into the corridors. How much y'all want to talk about corridors?
Do you think there's a production designer? I'm gonna look that up.
Good
I
question.
did not like this. I am kind of pissed, and I kind of hated it because it's a pet peeve. It's time for Mark's pet peeve corner. Space should never be boring or chill, and this makes it basically both. Like everybody is so bored in this.
Well, it's got space zombies. That's not that chill.
Actually,
Boring, maybe.
I don't really agree with you. I
I,
think I kind of like when because that's the alien thing, right? They just get to the alien faster, but up until they get to the alien, space is just their day job, and they're kind of bored of it.
they are bored in Alien, but the thing about Alien is that they seem really miserable.
Hmm.
Like they seem
See,
tired
I
and
realize what it is.
miserable and
Mark
unhappy.
didn't grow up watching Red Dwarf.
Well, yeah, I mean Red Dwarf came out when I was whatever, not a child.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I
that is
but Red
about
Dwarf is
space is
also a
kind of
comedy and
boring.
nothing is funny here.
No, I'm
You know
not
what I mean?
saying this film's a masterpiece. I'm just saying like that's not
Yeah.
like a instant dismissal for me. Like I thought,
Yeah.
my opinion on this film is like if it didn't have the Bruce Willis connection, this would just this wouldn't register as good or bad. This is just
If
oh,
this
I
didn't
watched
have
that.
Bruce Willis, it would be an actual Aliens mockbuster. They need to come up with a proper name that sounds like Aliens, you know? Um,
Yeah,
like this movie,
Ellie
it
like
really felt like it was a tie-in to some sort of video game. It's so bizarre that it's not.
no, like
yeah.
sometimes if I like now we're in the aliens lane and we have space marines and now we're having this like creepy weird dinner. Now we're in the alien lane, which I could take that against this movie, but Alien Romulus did the exact same thing, so I can't really
Which I
you
did
know
not like.
call crap on
I
this
mean,
movie.
it's better than this, but yeah, did not like. It's like
I
I don't know
loved the
the
Weyland Yutani planet in Romulus. It's once we
yeah,
get
the
off the
beginning is
planet,
great.
the beginning's great. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. And the gravity thing, whatever they were doing with the gravity thing was great. Whatever the hell that was.
This film had a
Um,
better final monster than Aliens Romulus.
Okay, well, most
okay,
movies
yeah,
do.
that's true.
Except for Alien
I
3.
mean,
Did
they're almost
Alien
the
3 have a
same.
worst one at the
I
end?
think
Or is
Alien
that
3
was
was
better
different
because it's
because it
Was
wasn't
freaky.
Alien 3
connected
just
to Prometheus in my head.
Mm.
wasn't that just Lance Henriksen? Wasn't he just the bad the
Isn't
No,
there
it had
third?
the
like a oh, not Alien 3. I'm thinking of Alien Resurrection. What did
no,
Alien 3 have?
Resurrection? That's
Oh,
actually what I
Alien
meant to say.
Resurrection
Oh
had
yeah,
no that was good.
that was way
I
better
will
than the
not.
Romulus one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I'm just talking about
Romulus was.
the amount of like weird and freaky and screwed up.
But there are things I think about when like the guy just
Thank
opened
you.
whatever the hell that was, that cleaner, and it was a big thing of acid. And I'm like, oh, you're trying to make us think of Alien by like just showing us this acid. But then the aliens
I
don't
guess I
bleed
didn't really
acid.
feel
They can't
that
afford that.
connection.
And then and
I
then
definitely I was like, wow, cool, you showing me acid, but it's just acid.
yeah, except for the
Like
thing at
cool,
the
you have
end, it's
acid.
like they're just space zombies and they're barely made up, right? So, which I guess
Yeah.
that saves some budget for sure. But yeah,
I
um,
don't care if they save budget. I don't want them to save budget. I don't care about don't make me care about the budget,
I don't care about the
filmmakers.
damn movie.
I don't care about
Uh,
your budget.
you want to hear what the box office was? I don't know what the budget was, but I know what the box
Uh,
office was.
what is it?
$39,328.
Well
So,
deserved. Great
so
You
job.
it's
could
like,
almost buy a Switch 2 for that.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like this movie. It's yeah. Um, it's like if a guy got repeatedly kicked in the balls, I guess you shouldn't like make fun of him right then and there, which
I,
is this
I, I,
movie.
f- I feel extremely bad for Bruce Willis. Like I could tell he is looks confused a bunch of the time, and as there's reaction shots cut together of him just standing there to try and just fill things out, which like, and it's obvious that this is sort of the beginning of like these guys just cranking out dumb, stupid,
Have you
presumably dumb, stupid
seen
garbage.
any of the? Yeah, you're saying you haven't seen. I'm
One of
just.
the movies is called A Day to Die. Like,
Ooh.
really? It's a day? Like, it's a day to die. A day to
I-
die. And it's every day.
yeah. Um, I am wondering if he showed like he does show up enough in this movie. You're like, oh, this is a Bruce Willis movie, and I'm wondering if some of the later
Yeah,
ones he like a three scener. That's what I was
But
expecting.
then
If
they
had
that
do
three
the
is
weird
scenes.
thing where he's got like
apparently.
the Bruce Willis hologram giving him directions.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, we've got Bruce Willis. Let's shoehorn Bruce Willis into the scenes Bruce Willis isn't even in.
Yeah, that could be. That was not him though. That was an AI that looked like him because he was like busy with other shit while the hologram was
Yeah.
going, or the editing
But I
was just
mean,
really bad. It wasn't
it
clear.
wasn't made with AI, though.
No, no, but I
We
mean,
have to
Matt means like
clarify that.
within the
I mean, within
Yeah.
the
story. That
universe of
I
wasn't
it.
the
know.
character
I feel
of
like I just
Clay.
want. I just need to clarify that for people listening who don't watch the movie because
It's 2020, so they should understand that it's not going to be AI
yeah,
as people mean it today,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
again
I
not
meant
AI.
with it is the end.
yeah,
It
no,
is the
that
end of
plagiarism machine.
2020. When did they film this thing? That's a good question.
2019 is when they made it. It was.
Oh, okay, so it was
I
pre-pandemic. I was
saw
just
2019 thrown around in a lot of places, so I
yeah,
think it was
so it just took
produced
them a
then.
year to
Yeah.
actually put it out. Which I mean, again, wait a minute.
There were a little bit of effects.
Oh, okay, it was only released in Russia and New Zealand.
Well,
Huh.
as a theatrical release?
Yeah.
Was it
That's why
COVID?
the box office was so low. It released in Russia and New Zealand, and then nobody went to see it.
No, they don't let sheep into the cinema, so.
I mean, the only movie in America at that time was Tenet,
Should.
Tenet. So, speaking of people that don't remember this, didn't watch it, etc., Luke, can you give us the tale of Breach?
I can indeed. In 2242 AD, Haley and her baby daddy Noah escape a dying Earth aboard the Ark. Haley's dad is the Admiral, so she gets a comfortable trip in cryosleep, but Noah has to sneak aboard as a janitor. Noah kind of befriends Clay, a grizzled vet who is also working as a janitor. They butt heads until Noah discovers Clay's little moonshine brewery. Then alien zombies infest the ship thanks to Earth terrorists. Noah and Clay fight their way to the Admiral, who unfreezes a crack squad. But they also get zombified and form a big flesh monster and turn the ship into a bomb that will destroy New Earth. Noah and Haley escape. Clay sacrifices himself to destroy the ship. Finally, Noah and Haley land on the new planet, only to discover an ongoing war with the alien things.
I want to say Bruce Willis always dies in space, but he makes it through the fifth element, so that's not right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would.
He makes it through the fifth element with his child bride, who's also like 1,000 years old, so it's fine.
right. Which,
It's the
Thanks,
most anime plotline ever.
Yes, for sure. I mean, well, yeah. I don't know. We're gonna get into the fifth element a whole bunch on this, but I did recently rewatch it because I did a whole thing on it live. But yeah, it is interesting how like anime hadn't really made it. That was one of the very first like big budget Hollywood films where anime kind of influenced it. So it's like 2 years before The Matrix, I think, three. But this is no Fifth Element
No, this
because
is
Bruce
like a
Willis
kind
has
of
no
a
charisma.
this is like a weird sideways sequel to speaking of sci-fi sanctuary movies, this not this Island Earth, the other one. When Worlds Collide. This is like what happens after the end of
Oh,
When Worlds Collide, maybe.
sure.
They don't have cryosleep in that movie, and it's like 50 people instead of like
I
300,000,
mean,
but
I'm not convinced they had cryosleep in this movie. When he wakes his girlfriend up at the end, she's just like, "Oh, what? Hi."
yeah, there's
Like
no
she
sleep.
just
They
came
don't
out
do
of
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not really cryo, it's just sleep.
just like go in this
Yeah.
glass box for a while.
And you're fine when you wake up, no matter how. I guess she's probably only been out for like whatever a couple of months, but
I guess I was also watching, I was thinking about this particular somewhat problematic movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
69
Passengers, if
cents
you're
at the
listening,
69 cents at the Blu-ray Apocalypse. That movie's kind of
nice.
weird because I completely understand why the movie's problematic. At the same time, I like everything else about the movie, so I have
Yeah,
issues with it.
I think I would have enjoyed the movie if I'd watched it instead of finding out the twist in advance.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same. I haven't watched it because I'm like, I don't know how to square that in my
That's
head.
one, yeah, because what the problem with the movie is completely true. Otherwise, I think it's pretty good. Cool production design. This doesn't have that. Acting's good in
Oh,
that. This doesn't have that, you know?
all they really had to do was be like, "Whoops, I woke this pretty girl up by accident. I didn't mean
Or
to
Yeah,
at
but you
make it
all."
wouldn't.
like
Whoops, I woke
make
this
it that
pretty
you're
girl
not
up by
meant to like
accident.
him after you find that out, instead of making it like what a lovable scamp, but he gets away with it.
Not to make this a passengers podcast, but I
Yeah.
think the key to that movie that is still like, would I do that? I might do that in this situation. It's horrible, but I could see myself
Yeah.
doing it. I guess that's the key to the movie that you're like,
I
it's
guess I
horrible, but
haven't
I
seen the
could
film, so I
do
don't
it.
know how well they handle it, but I got the
Okay.
impression not well.
Not well, but at the same time, not. It's. I think they should have made him Chris Pratt way creepier in that movie. It would have worked, like Travis
Mm.
Bickle, like, and then it would have worked.
And then he
Anyway,
dies at the end.
that's a different movie. And Breach, well, no one's prating. I do. I'm kind of interested. You're saying Willis with no charisma. I was coming and maybe
And
expecting the worst, so I was like,
I,
okay, he's on screen
I
a little
don't.
bit.
He didn't have no charisma. He
Yeah, I
didn't
mean
have no
he's
He
still
didn't
is
charisma.
have
Bruce
no
Willis,
He
but
charisma.
he
had
could.
charisma, but not like Fifth Element level charisma, and that was like him being
Yeah, but
creepy.
that's not even like that's just regular aging.
I
I
suppose.
mean, he
He's
had to
not as
But
change.
hot as
but
he was in Fifth Element,
but I
man.
mean, but no, but like like compare his charisma to like I don't know, put Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart up there. Put like
Bog
Daniel Day
Willis has
Yeah, but
Lewis.
Ian
always been
McKellen and
very
Patrick
different.
Stewart are like theatrically trained actors, whereas Bruce Willis is like a guy who did a soap opera and some action films.
Because the last
Okay,
movies where Bruce Willis has any hair, that's what Armageddon does he have? Yeah, he has some hair in that. Fifth Element,
Because like, how much charisma does Schwarzenegger
Divers
have in
of
like the real recent
Vengeance.
stuff?
Yeah, and I
the
think
Not
last
it's
thing
not
I
the
saw
same
him
as
in,
it
he
was
was
back in the day, right?
the last thing I saw him in was Terminator Dark Fate, and he did incredibly
Oh,
well.
he is pretty good
I
in
don't,
that, yeah.
well, it's got the
and that
drape
was
scene, which
the
is one of the
same
most
time as this.
charismatic scenes ever. Okay, I'm having
Yeah,
another look, and when is the last time? Okay, GI Joe
but that's what
Retaliation, Red
But
2, Good Day, Die
also,
Hard. Those aren't.
dementia
Schwarzenegger is
does to
better than
you.
Bruce Willis, so
You're right. I can't argue with that.
Okay, I have
I'm
it.
not even joking. You can't argue with that.
Looper, I didn't think he was great in Looper. So the last time Bruce Willis was charismatic for me was Captain Duffy Sharp in 2012's Moonrise Kingdom. There, so yeah,
Yep.
that's where I would put last time we got
Um,
a full Bruce. And I'm
yeah.
not
I mean, he
counting
was
Looper
kind
with
of.
that.
When I saw Glass, I looked at it as him kind of phoning it in, but it was really probably him suffering horribly. So,
Right, right. So
uh,
yeah, so and that's 2012 I'm talking there. But
yeah, like seriously, my grandmother died from like frontal lobe dementia. Like, I don't mean to like joke about this. It's like it sucks. Like it's horrible for you and every. I'm sure it's horrible for you. It's definitely horrible for everybody, is your family and
mm.
friends, and the people it's probably not horrible for is like the writers and directors who can put you in 21 movies between 2020 and 2023. It's probably great for them. Edward Drake and Corey Large
oh, the
also
writers.
don't sound like real names.
But you
I
can click
mean,
on their
there's
names,
every
can't you?
chance they're not.
John
I,
Suits, Edward Drake, and Corey Large. Definitely real people. Yes, indeed.
we can click on some of their names. I mean, I guess I could try
They
clicking somewhere
made
see what happens.
3 movies in the Detective Knight series within 1 year.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's where I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm curious what he is. I don't think you could bring yourself to watch that easily, but
I'm not going to try
be
because
pretty
I don't have
depressed.
to because this podcast is not going to make me. Guess who plays Detective Knight? One guess.
I already knew that I've been talking about that. I've already
Okay.
referenced this several times in the
Sorry.
podcast.
Okay.
How much does Detective Night? The last Detective Night movie made $53,000, 342. So it blew this one out of the water.
Hmm. Well, good for them.
60% of Rotten Tomatoes reviews are positive on the final Detective Night. Huh.
I bet by then it's like you know what you're in for if you're watching a Detective Night movie, whatever that might be.
Yeah, maybe people were just trying to be nice to Bruce because it was his last one. Oh, no.
Or
This
because they
one,
found out what he's doing.
Detective Night Independence grossed $53,342 in the United Arab Emirates and South Korea. Why is it like always just two totally like rando countries where these things show? And it's not the same ones.
I mean, ask the marketing department for whatever company this is.
Yeah, so fascinating.
Saban Films made this one. I don't know if they made all the other ones. That's like the son of Haim Saban who funded
Okay, Saban
Digimon. I don't
didn't
say
make
he
shit.
didn't make
Saban
Digimon.
bought
He
Digimon and Power
funded,
Rangers and
yes.
gave
He put
them
money up for
questionable dubs.
yes. Put
We
money up
have
for stuff that
Saban to
was sometimes
blame
cool.
for in English-speaking countries we didn't have Butterfly. We had Digimon, digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
And
Like that,
don't
you have
forget
little
Digimon
John from
rap.
Step doing that.
Hmm
uh,
Whereas in Latin America, they got Spanish dubs of the actual cool Japanese songs.
Oh man.
Until the movie came out, and that one's based on the English version, so they got the digi rap and the random fucking all star and stuff. And Mercy had to go to cinema and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
oops.
I I was randomly showing someone
You see
that
All
scene.
Star?
Yeah,
They're
yeah. The
using.
Digimon movie soundtrack is basically a ska album.
Okay. No, I'm
Oh,
just sitting here because
yeah,
Shrek,
Digimon are very
they stole
ska
it from
coded.
Shrek, and Shrek
No,
already stole it from Mystery Men. So,
well, it predates Shrek, I believe, slightly.
yeah, yeah, Mystery Men. It was for the
Oh,
Mystery Men
Digimon the
soundtrack.
movie also, I believe,
Oh,
predates
oh,
Shrek.
okay. All Star does not. Yeah. Okay, okay. If they used it
Hmm.
before, I think we talked about this before. Yeah,
But
because
yeah, it's
that
the
already broke
music
my
video
mind.
for All Star is Mystery Man.
Right, right. Two other. I only really have two more observations on this film before I just start ranting about nothing. One,
Hmm.
do y'all think they were using Star Trek Enterprise surplus costumes? Because I think they were.
I
No
mean, the
idea.
Enterprise costumes are pretty basic anyway.
They are, but they had the same like kind of pinstripe and stuff, except they would all look kind of dirty and washed out. So I was like, maybe they just gussied them up to look like they were mechanics, and because
Hmm.
that's not isn't Southern Georgia's where they have it's the original series, but then don't they have the haven't they built a fake bridge down there or whatever?
Wait, are you suggesting that like the series Star Trek Enterprise just stored all their costumes in South Georgia from like 2003 until 2020 when they were used for
Or
this?
this Star Trek thing in Southern Georgia just bought a bunch of Star Trek crap and has them.
Hmm.
What
That's the
Star
more
Trek
likely one.
thing?
I
Is there
thought that
an attraction or something?
No, I think they were filming one of the fan series in Southern Georgia until CBS said you can't do that anymore. They said you can make one, you can't make a series.
You
So
think they
that
were filming in Zebulon?
yes, I believe that's correct.
Because that sounds like a planet from Star Trek.
It does. That's
Just
a
an
good
observation.
that was a good
Crossover.
that was a good choice. But yeah, anyway, just I was like for 5 minutes since the rest of the movie wasn't that interesting. I was just trying to parse out if I was looking at Star Trek Enterprise uniforms or not. So that also
Wow.
the end of the movie is really dumb, and that means the entire human race is now dead, even though he says a badass line, right?
I mean,
Yeah, pretty
maybe they can
much.
win.
I mean, maybe kicks all those zombie alien or human sci-fi zombie zombies are always sci-fi unless they're voodoo. I guess then they're not. Anyway, I think he's gonna die in 10 seconds. Can the movie ends
Oh,
there?
he is. Yeah, he's a chump. But
Yeah.
They
oh, but his name is
literally
Noah, and he went on the Ark. This film is really deep.
Well, all 300,000 people on the ship are now dead because they blew up the ship real good. It seems the
Hmm.
people that had already landed on New Earth are now zombies, and it seems old Earth is fucked because it's 30 years later after that quantum jump or whatever, right? So that is the end of humanity. And well, I guess we're in zombie form now, so whatever. That New Earth is
so
zombies.
so here's another Saban crossover is like the guy they have playing Captain Kirk in that Georgia made Star Trek series is sex pest voice actor Vic
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I already
Mignogna?
that's I don't know how to
I
say
don't
his
know how to
name, but
say
that was
him.
already like when I started bringing it up, I had that little like, oh, should I bring it up? The thing is, that show's really good, and everyone else that worked on it, or not everybody, but there most of the people on that show probably were not doing that. So, um,
God, I hope not.
our friend John Champion's in an episode.
What really?
Yeah,
Damn.
he's the
Well, he
racist
didn't.
or the not racist, but the he's kind of doing the balance of terror
He's
racist guy thing.
you're just like your racist guy. You're
Yeah,
spelling
he's
it
the
out.
one like screw the Vulcans when he's at the helm or something.
Oh,
You know,
oh
that
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Not
The
that
the
that's the wrong that might now I have to look up what
speciesist.
he's doing. This speciesist. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to be careful which
Oh
term I'm
boy.
using. Yeah. But yeah, he's in one that's pretty fun.
Wow, that's
There's
weird.
no room for bigotry on my bridge.
Yeah, it's one of those
Or
scenes.
sex
So,
pests.
There's room for those.
there's
I mean, there was always room for
clear.
those on Kirk's bridge,
Well,
mate.
that's true. Actually, I can't. Yeah, I can. I cannot. Cannot absolve Kirk of any crimes, like such Green Woman crimes or whatever. Anyway, what the hell? See, all this is cooler than this fucking movie. I'm just like, I think like, do we all have our bad list movies that we kind of are easier on and harder on? Because I just like
Definitely,
feel
yeah.
like
Well, that's how it
I'm
works,
really
isn't it?
mad
Yeah.
at like horror movies on this list. Like they're just something about it just makes me so like edgy. I'm just like, damn it, this isn't. There's no tension. I'm not scared. It's
Hmm.
not cool. It's not fun.
I guess I
I
didn't
guess
really, I barely even saw it as a horror movie. It's just more like a sci-fi action thing.
yeah.
But yeah, if
It's
I was
like,
watching it as a horror movie, I would think, yeah, this is a dreadful horror movie.
but it's like I was fine with Far Cry, and Far Cry did like pretty
See,
similar.
I found Far Cry more annoying than this, I think.
That's so
That
interesting.
I was starting to think about that as you said that. I think I'm going to come down on Team Far Cry because at least that one had some verve and style to it here and there. Where
I
this
guess I
one,
just like a sci-fi setting makes me forgive a lot.
and I was surprised how much sci-fi we got out of that, right? So,
Also, this was a bit shorter.
That is true. I think it's just like there was just more like flair and more like acting in Far Cry where it's like there yeah the bad acting in Far Cry was like people being like whoa you took my sandwich and this is
Mm.
the bad acting this is like yeah what when Thomas Jane shows up who is like I thought he was foreign like I was like I had no idea he was a
He
native
was the
English speaker
Punisher.
because his lines didn't make any sense. Like is he was talking like a guy who did not speak English. So I was like, what the hell is going on? He says his last line is, "Hey kid, tell Haley I think she'd be all right," which doesn't make any sense. Like you say, "I think she's going to be all right," or something like that. And also, he definitely acted like he did not have a daughter or give a shit about anyone or what was happening. He was definitely there for the day.
Oh yeah.
But he wasn't bad. I mean,
But
he
then the
was. I
guy
mean,
playing
he
the
was fun.
like the directly below him, who's like in charge before they wake him up,
Yeah,
he
that
said
guy.
every line in the most difficult way to understand.
I hated when he came out and was just like, oh, well, God, he was just trying to growl all of his lines. God,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hated
yeah.
that guy. And then he just kept being a zombie. Like, I guess they paid him for a lot because they killed him and then he came back. Then they killed him again and he came back. And
well,
it
that's
was
what
like,
happens. You kill them and they come back as a zombie.
but what do you kill the zombie is stronger after you kill a zombie the first time?
He wants to punish. That's all.
No, that was
So,
the other guy.
Oh, sorry.
you
That's
guys are not familiar with The Expanse, right?
Nope.
I think I've seen the first episode, and it wasn't even like I didn't like it. I just didn't start. I didn't get
I've
in the
read the
habit of
first
watching.
book, and that
Is it
features like a alien virus that predates humanity that takes apart bionic matter and rebuilds it into whatever it wants. So this was very
hmm,
much ripping that off.
interesting? I mean, maybe it's not interesting. I don't know.
But yeah, it's interesting in The
It
Expanse. It's not
it
very
made
interesting
it
here.
it made it 10 seasons, right? Wasn't that like kind of notable for making it 10 seasons and mostly being good?
Yeah, they covered all the books, and as I understand it, they nailed it.
You would say they covered the entire expanse of books. And I breached that topic. Anyway, um yeah. So anybody ever seen anybody in this in anything else except for Thomas Jane and Bruce Willis?
I don't
Uh,
believe so. I haven't checked.
I'm kind of half checking.
Are you setting us up for
Probably not.
something?
No.
I checked one guy,
Trying to
and
make
then he wasn't
conversation.
in anything I knew. Let's see. No, I don't. I think that's it. Yeah.
Maybe I recognize the main guy's face a little bit.
Which one?
Noah.
No. Okay, he was Moose Mason in Riverdale. No, that doesn't track. Okay.
My
I didn't
sister
watch.
watched all of Riverdale, so maybe I saw it in the background.
Maybe that's how that. I've never seen that show. I never even knew it existed until like not recently. Yeah, recently. Yeah. Anyway, not on my shit. Fat.
The lady who was frozen almost
Oh,
the
he's
entire
also in two
movie
of the
was.
Detective Knight movies.
Hey, yeah, and you got an acting troupe. You keep them
And
around, don't you?
he's in Power Rangers.
Oh,
I
okay.
assume not as a major character. His character is called Hawkeye, which I don't recall.
Hmm. The
5.9
lady
that Power Rangers film has. I thought it was better than that.
was that the most recent one?
The recent like attempt to reboot it didn't
It,
really take
I
off.
can't remember
I
anything
didn't
about
really
it.
I didn't really like Power
Oh, I
Rangers growing up, but that
kind of
looked like it would
recognize
probably be
the.
cool.
You were definitely too old to like Power Rangers. That's understandable.
I was close.
I
Like I
definitely
don't know.
like the 95 one better. I mean, not it was like not that it was good, but it was just like more memorable, right?
Yeah. The
Wait,
the Doctor in this has been in a bunch of stuff that one of us might have watched.
oh, the
And I'm
Doctor?
not saying I'm young. I'm just saying that I was watching children's shows when I was
Right.
when I was a teenager in my 20s and now.
She's even in Star Trek 2009.
The Doctor we are going to encounter again soon in Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd. So we will be seeing her on the bad list again.
Oh, in fact, she was one of the Green Ladies you talk about.
Oh,
The
okay.
Doctor in
How
this was
about
the
that?
Green Lady that Kirk hooked up with.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Good for her. We're just making all sorts of connections, just making a big giant expanse of connections. That didn't work.
Right. Um, wow. I'm sorry. I'm just doing some prep work here, and there actually are about a dozen 10-star reviews, which we'll get to pretty soon. But any other big points someone wanted to bring out on the movie that I've
Oh, absolutely not. No,
probably
I've
forgotten 8 hours
stopped
later?
caring or thinking about this film like half an hour ago, man.
My least favorite thing in the film is also like something I think is very funny, which is
Mm.
that thing where the guy is explaining where the thing came from and he never explains it and people keep asking him questions and it's just this incredibly frustrating conversations where Bruce Willis is like, where did it came from? Did it come from the sky? Did it come out of the ocean? Did it come from another dimension? And then he keeps like kind of mumbling an answer and then the lady who's there with them starts doing it. She's like, where did it come from? Where, I'm like, are you why are you people just guessing at this and this guy won't answer you? Anyway,
So they've got a Bruce Willis body double, and
oh,
he's in a lot of the films from this period, and he does look quite a lot like Bruce Willis.
Okay.
He's been in stand-in since like Die Hard 4.
Okay.
maybe you should just start making Die Hard movies.
Well, maybe he can't act.
Well, they failed at that the last couple times.
They
Actually,
do.
four
They'll
wasn't
fix
too
it with
bad.
AI.
I like
Four's
4.
four's got
Wasn't
the
there a TV
R-rated
show as
version.
well?
I hope that Bruce Willis didn't sign something that was like you can just use my
Apparently that
likeness to
is
make.
false. It was
Okay,
reported, but not actually true.
good. I don't remember reading anything about that, but that's something where it's like the first people that are gonna fall victim to that are well, the first people will probably be desperate and really need money. The second people will be like people who are suffering from some kind of like elderly induced mental issues. I don't know what's the nice way to say that. Some issues that make it hard for them to determine whether it's a good contract or not.
Hmm.
Hmm.
On the
So,
lighter side, the bunk that Noah and Bruce, I'm just gonna call him Bruce, are staying in. I was just thinking it looks very much like the late Galactic Star Cruiser, where you would pay $3,000 to sleep in a shitty sci-fi bunk.
yeah, this kind of makes me think that the Galactic Star Cruiser would be like this, but with better actors in it.
And more production design.
Yeah. But I mean, they would be better. They would be, well, maybe not better actors, but like much louder actors because
Hmm.
they'd be doing theater.
Right.
Oh
Um,
no, we must
right.
find the MacGuffin. Is it in
uh,
your plate at this dinner?
the MacGuffin?
Anyway,
Don't break your
I'm
tooth
just
on the
trying.
MacGuffin.
Don't break your tooth on the MacGuffin. Is it in your room? Is it in your luggage? What's
I'm
this
in your
luggage
room. I'm
doing?
in your luggage.
And then like a music starts.
It
Jizz
would have to be
plays.
no enough be. Oh, right,
They
right,
start
right,
doing
right,
a
right.
conga line while Jizz plays.
Okay, sure. Oh yeah, yeah. That is what they call the music, isn't it?
It
God
is
damn
a
it! Now we're back to
genre.
Star Wars, and it's my fault. We are admittedly in science
I think
fiction this
it's
week, so it's okay. And okay, this came out within a year of Rise of Skywalker. Luke,
Mhm.
which is a better movie, Breach 2020 or The Rise of Skywalker?
Breach. Didn't
I
offend
like
me
Rise
anywhere
of
near as much.
I like Rise of Skywalker better because it made me not care about Star Wars
No,
anymore, and this
yeah,
didn't do
okay. I know
anything.
you had fun watching and don't care about Star Wars anymore.
I laughed
I can't
a
bring
lot.
myself to watch it a second time. I just
If
Same.
like
if this
I,
movie
I
was just
genuinely,
called
I still stand by the series ends at Last Jedi and it's a better ending.
yeah, I mean that makes sense, but
that said, I do
also
love to
if
scream that dad speak. Speaking of those acty voices
yeah,
that are loud.
well if this movie was called Alien: Breach, then I probably would be offended. But
Hmm.
I don't think that's possible.
That
I
would have
don't
added
think that
20 million to the least to the budget too. I'm
it's
sorry,
just
I'm lowballing with
it's
that
the
number,
exact
aren't
same
I?
movie.
That would have added like 80 million to the budget. Let's see how much did Romulus cost.
They wouldn't let's face it, like no matter how bad alien movies get, and there have been some not great ones. I'll say the not great ones. I don't think there have been any like anywhere near this bad. Like they're not hiring John Suits. Definitely a human. Definitely not six raccoons in a suit directing this.
Correct, not six raccoons. It's Muppet Man directing it.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely not Muppet Man directing this. It's definitely a real man.
okay, budget on Alien Romulus only 80 million. They for a blockbuster they made that for on the
Oh,
cheap.
wait. His bio. He's here it goes. John Suits has been a director, producer on multiple broadcast commercials and branded content films for clients, including the NBA, WNBA, Microsoft, Pepsi, Buffalo Wild Wings, State Farm, Dove, Goodyear, Ruffles, the UPS store, and AT&T. That's right up top. His commercial guy. He brings content to you.
Hey, I'm just thinking about modern budgets a little bit. Looking at this, Alien Romulus, 80 million budget, box office 350, quite a big success. Mission Impossible, the new one, costs what? They say it has a $400 million budget. Like it's
Yeah, but that's
impossible
because
for
they
that.
made like three films and deleted them before the one they released, as I understand it.
Did
Okay,
they film in space? Was this the one they filmed in space?
Mission Impossible?
Did
they
they cut
should
that?
have.
Did they cut
Yeah,
that out?
that was one of the cut movies. That's one of the ones that they did.
What
I
the?
don't
They
know.
went into space and filmed a fucking movie in space and they cut the space out of it? Like,
This is
go
the
to
first I've
hell,
heard that they
Tom
ever went in
Cruise.
space, so.
Anyway,
It was a huge deal in like whatever year that was.
I didn't see it because I was like I almost went on Monday, but it's like it's 3 hours long. They say half of it is basically watching the old movies, or
But
I could
man,
take a
you
walk.
have Matt, mate, watch it.
Okay, I probably will this weekend.
It
Like,
like as a film, it's probably like a 7 out of 10.
mm,
But as a cinema experience,
okay.
you gotta see that shit,
Anyway,
man.
also because next Monday I have to do an acupuncture appointment. I'll be near the theater, so just go after that, right? Makes sense, but
Yeah. No,
yeah.
you gotta see Tom Cruise fucking fight on the outside of an airplane.
Yeah, sure. Okay. No, no,
Okay.
it
I
was a very much like things of yeah, it is on my that Superman and I guess Fantastic Four on my things to see in the theater soon list. Mark, I know there's lots of movies I
I
should see in the theater that we simply don't see in Podunk, Japan.
We should be
yeah,
getting
I
Nobody too.
misspoke. Oh yeah, that's apparently the director of that is like this like guy from Southeast Asia who makes like weird really weird shit. Like I love the director of the first one, but anyway, I misspoke. There was a bunch of talk about Tom Cruise filming a movie in space, but it was not a Mission Impossible movie. And there
Is
are a
it
bunch
just
of
Top Gun
articles
because he
where
does that flight at the start?
I don't know, but it hasn't happened yet. And a lot of articles see have like Elon Musk teaming up with him and promising things, so it
Oh,
probably
I
won't
thought
happen. So yeah,
it'll be like
um,
Katy Perry, where what he actually does is film in a really high airplane for like 2 minutes.
yep.
Or Apollo 13 where they kept just like vomit
They use
commenting
the
and for
vomit
like
comment, yeah.
30-second shots. Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Elon Musk. If you're listening, you should definitely go and film yourself in space. I mean, in
And then not
space.
come back.
Without a
I mean,
suit, yeah.
just be in space.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Then yeah, you don't come back from that. Your head pops
I'm not.
maybe. I
I'm not.
don't know.
It's not my concern what happens afterwards. I just want him to be filmed in space,
Without a spacesuit.
just in space. You don't have to. You don't have to say that. You don't have to say the quiet part out loud. Yeah. Okay. Explode in space, please.
I want him to be shot to death with a gun.
Can we do it while he's in space?
Sure. Well, how do physics work? Does the bullet might go in a wildly unexpected direction, and it wouldn't make contact?
Mm.
Uh, does anyone
No,
recall?
that's why you bring, one of America's greatest exports,
Hmm.
Tom
automatic
Cruise?
assault rifles, which
Oh.
are completely legal for anyone to have.
Mhm.
You can
Anyway,
do anything you want with them.
Breach 2020. Anyone want to call it a film?
Nope. Nope.
Didn't think so, but I do have 10-star
Content.
Call it a-
reviews. Mark, have you been trialing any 10 stars?
I started to, and then I got distracted by a
Okay, here's
space
one.
movie.
I'll just read a few. Um, Y'all are
Okay.
missing the point. Hell yeah, this movie is horrible, but that's the point. Mindless can't be fun like Sharknado. Yes, the acting is poor and the special effects were done on a phone, but where else will you hear Bruce Willis say, "Who wants some barbecue?" while he chemically melts Aster zombies? In the boss battle,
That
I'm
was
pretty
fun.
sure that monster was dragging its balls. Enjoy this movie for what it is, not for what you want it to be. Okay, sure, why not?
Mm.
One of the best monsters I've seen in a while. That's another review, but I think we disagreed with that. Um,
Huh.
this is
I'm
a
gonna
great. Hmm?
go ahead.
This is a
I
great
was gonna say,
movie.
you go.
But
You
you
go
start
first.
talking. Now you're doing it again.
You go first.
Yeah, this is a great movie. When you pick a movie to watch, you want fun, thrill, effects, story, and ultimately entertainment. This movie is none of that. Instead, it goes much, much deeper, and the genius of it is so hidden most people don't even realize it's there. This movie makes you contemplate about your life choices. You question your decisions and life itself. How has it come to this? This particular movie. What did go wrong in my life? What did go wrong in the life of Bruce Willis? The COVID, maybe? Was it that bad, even in Hollywood, that they ended up doing this movie? Did the writer, the director, and the entire creative staff died of it during production? Why did I chose this particular movie? What did watch it to the end? Is there something wrong with me? I maybe should see someone about it. This movie is not simply a movie, it is a masterpiece. If you watch it to the end, it helps you to recognize there is something wrong with you so you can go seek help, and ultimately it can make your life better. Wow.
That's well, I've done the go to the least helpful ones,
Oh
and
yeah, give us that.
great movie, possibly one of the best 2020 films. This film is almost as good as Die Hard. If you are a Bruce Willis fan, this is definitely worth the watch. You won't regret it. 7 out of 40 found this helpful.
Hmm. Okay. Is that what you got? You said
That's it.
reviews with an
Oh,
S.
here's another one. The buck stops here. Buckle in for a wild ride. One of the best monsters I've seen in a while. I really like their take on space guns. 0 out
Okay.
of 5 found that one helpful.
Oh, that's the one where I read they like the monster because we were like very much like we don't like the monster. So.
I like the monster.
Oh, you did like
The
the monster.
monsters,
Okay.
the monster at
Multiple
the
times
end
we
was
said we like the
fine,
monster.
I
except
guess
that
you don't really
like,
see the
stole
monster
the
well.
line
Is
from
part of it.
Predator.
I like the idea it's dragging
But
its
whatever.
balls though.
Yeah, that was all right. And the whatever that the scene at the end on the planet, even though it was stupid that they played it like as if they were not going to immediately die, but that was fine. Whatever, with the little kid screaming at them and the big giant thing in the background, that's
I mean,
fine.
there's obviously an army of rabid humans behind her, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming there are no humans, and it's just
Oh, if it's
all the
just her,
humans in the
maybe they
ship
can.
died, and then they died.
Well, didn't they say like people had made it there before them? Like they were not the first ship, like they were the last ship,
Yeah,
right? Because that's why people were like scrambling to get
possibly.
on.
There was definitely
I
talk of there's been additional ships, yeah.
Yeah, we
I don't
made.
know if
we
they
know it's
specifically said
been
this is
30
the last
years.
or something like that, but
Yeah,
It's
I guess
been
people
30
would be
years,
like
so like
fighting
we
to get
don't
on
know.
every ship would have like mobs trying to get on, maybe not
hmm.
just the last one. But the last one have the biggest mobs, right? They'd have the last mobs. They never say what's happening on Earth either, do they?
No, they say an
Earth's
extinction
gone.
event.
Yeah.
It's just gone. They look up and it's gone, right? I mean, they don't seem to give a shit.
Who farted? That's how the world ended.
Yes.
So
Uh,
shall we wind down a bit lit of the breach, a bit of lit. That came
well,
out well.
yep. All I have to say is, listeners, you're Mario and we're Princess Breach.
Preach? Princess
If
Preach?
you
Preach
like
the
that
word.
reference,
That was a Death Stranding reference. I got that.
yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
I just thought you were having like a stumble bum
What's up,
moment
all my
after mine.
Strand type players? Yeah, get ready. 2025, stranding, still stranding out here. Anyway, but if you want to still be stranding, then check out Patreon. I always start with Patreon.
Because you
Podcastia,
can.
podcastias.org. You start with patreon.com/podcastia, podcastias. Either of those. Find other fine shows and contribute to our server fund servers. They're not getting any cheaper. And listen to Luclos Pokemon Game Show podcast 1999 in prison coming back for some reason that we haven't revealed yet. Occult Disney and Time
We'll
Enough
probably,
podcast, which will
yeah,
be going into the future soon.
right. But first, we're
It's
going
almost
into the
everything.
past and the future. And in the
There's
5 minute
nothing.
future, I'm going into the
Yes.
past because I'm recording one of those after this.
Very well. Stay
Stay breachy.
preachy.
If you're gonna breach, clench.
Okay.